Let me get this straight. I'm minding my own business, creating content, building brands, making money, staying in my own lane. And somehow I end up in a YouTube video titled Broke Bum Ninjas Hit a New Low. First of all, if you have to call strangers broke on the internet to feel powerful, that already tells me everything that I need to know. And second, I didn't even know you were like that. I saw your clips on TikTok. They were boring, so I kept scrolling. And shout out to my homie that sent me this clip, because now we gotta talk. Let's get something clear. I never mentioned Coach Greg Adams. I never dissed him. I never spoke on him. I never asked for smoke. Because somehow I end up catching strays in the video. But his energy is, let me belittle somebody I don't know so I could feel relevant. That's weak energy. That's sucker behavior. That's what happens when your content stops growing. So you start reaching. And let's be real. When a man has to punch down to feel tall, he's already standing on shaky ground. And see, this is why I don't mess with most content creators. Because a lot of them ain't creators. They're culture vultures. They don't build, they recycle. They don't lead, they react. They sit around waiting for a moment or a clip they can latch on to so they can say, look at me, I'm important too. That's not confidence. That's desperation dressed up as masculinity. And what's wild is, the loudest dudes online be the ones that do the least offline. Calling somebody a broke bum that you never met is crazy. Especially when you don't know my income, my businesses, my assets, my tax bracket, or my lifestyle. Just last year alone, I made 6 figures off social media. And that's not including my other business ventures outside of content. So if your whole argument depends on imaginary poverty, that's not commentary. That's fan fiction. And let's keep it a buck. Men who are really up, they don't need to announce it. They don't need to belittle strangers. They don't need to scream, I'm not broke, into a microphone. Money moves quiet. Insecurity yells. And here's the part that really exposes it. You didn't critique my ideas. You didn't challenge my logic. You didn't debate my points. You went straight to name calling. That's what people do when they can't compete intellectually. If your response to someone's success is mockery instead of mastery, that tells me you feel threatened, not superior. And I get it. Nothing hurts worse than seeing a younger, hungrier, unbothered, doing their thing while you stuck repeating the same talking points for the same audience. And let me say this clearly. I don't chase clout. I don't chase interviews. I don't chase collaborations. Yeah, I had other content creators DM me for interviews, sit downs, and conversations. I turned them all down. Why? Because I stay in my own lane. I build my own brand. I don't have to attach myself to anybody else's name to feel validated. So when somebody randomly jump out the bushes with insults, it looks exactly like what it is, a clout grab. And the funniest part, you didn't make me look small. You made me look important. So thanks for the free promo. Let's talk psychology for a sec. Men who are fulfilled don't obsess over strangers. Don't tear down people they never met. Don't wake up angry at the internet. That's bitterness, that constant need to belittle, that's frustration. And frustration comes from unfulfilled desires. Financial, emotional, or personal. I'm not mad. I'm not offended. I'm not pressed. I'm just disappointed that grown men with platforms would choose ego over evolution. So let me close with this. If you don't know me, don't speak on me. If you can't debate me, don't insult me. If you have to tear down others to feel tall, you already sure. I'm going to keep building, keep creating, and keep winning. So Coach Greg Adams, I'm going to tell you this. Stay in your lane. Mind your business. Never let her bitter voice distract you from your purpose. Because at the end of the day, clout fades, character doesn't. Carry on.